Well, communities from southern Maine to the mid-coast to northern Maine were directly affected by the fake calls for an active shooter in schools. Those calls sent a ripple that touched people all over the state.
Whether you were directly affected by the news or anxious about what could have happened today, there's a lot to process tonight. Greg Marley joins us live now at 4. He's with NAMI Maine, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Thanks so much for being here, Greg.
You're very welcome.
We want to first start talking about the students directly involved in what unfolded today in a number of districts, is what we've learned from state police today. We heard reports students, in some cases, were hiding under their desks. This was very real, very major for them in this moment. Where would you start in advice directly for the students of how to process what happened today?
Well, I think I would talk mostly to their parents, because they know their parents, they know the school staff as a way to get in, and really to listen and to recognize that every student is going to process their own way. Some of them are going to say, it's nothing, and some of them, based on their own anxiety, their own history of trauma, are going to be really affected deeply. So you start where they are.
Not to necessarily solicit parenting advice, but as we're talking about parents, adolescents specifically, it's a tricky age on how they process things. A lot of parents likely struggling with, how much do I push to talk about it? Am I talking too much about it? Am I not talking enough about it? How do you gauge that?
Again, your parents, you know your child. You invite the conversation. You maybe be gently persistent, but they may not most easily talk to you. So you can't insist, but if you see the changes, they're struggling with it, they're not sleeping well, their temper's getting a little flared, invite the conversation or find someone else who can talk with them.
Even as for the parents or the adults who watched these events unfold today, a lot of parents rushed to the schools. A lot of parents had that fear of, was this morning the last time I saw my child? That's a very real thing for them. How can they sort of put the monster back in the box, so to speak, process everything that happened?
When that news came in and they realized my child is at a school that may be under lockdown, maybe under attack, they went into that instinctual fight, flight, or protect. That is out of our rational brain. It goes right into our primitive, and so that brings up all those emotions, strong feelings, anger, fear, and how do you put them back? You hug your children, you talk it through. You find as a parent who you can talk to. Not process it with your child, even if that child's 15 or 16. Process it more with them, but how can you let it go? And for everyone, for the kids and the parents, it's about exercise and sleep, lots of water, the opportunity to talk about it, normal routines. That's what creates safety.
I think we can maybe wrap up with this question, but these active shooter drills have actually become a pretty normal part of school life anyway. Is there a level of trauma that kids these days are sort of dealing with through all of this?
I talk to parents of elementary school kids who go through those drills, and the drills feel very real, and they hide under their desk not because they're supposed to, because they're afraid. And so, we're redefining normal as active shooter drills? That's a frightening thought. And so how do you reassure them? How do you separate the drill from the normal? How do you give them a chance to vent? And how do you return them to that normal baseline of going to school, playing sports, playing with their friends? It's both and.
A lot to process.
Yeah, an emotional day for hundreds of families across the state. Greg Marley with NAMI Maine, we appreciate you coming in for today.
You're welcome.